A little technology shift there. Susan mentioned in her of our Torah about counting and how much we count, and tragically those who have not been counted. This is a time of arrival, or almost arrival to the promised land, and almost arrival to Sinai. For we are in a period of time called the Omer, the days of counting from Passover to Shavuot, counting as the grain is growing, counting as we're getting nearer to Sinai. So this is a week of arriving. And I'd like to, before I continue that conversation, thank Susan and Sisterhood for allowing this Sister Shabbat to have an extra set of blessings tonight. Blessings because this is a time of a special arrival. And I know that Sister Shabbat had been designed and planned, and is very magnanimous and generous and special that this evening includes these additional blessings. So thank you, Susan, for making this night a shared evening. Arrival. This is the 49th day of the Omer we're announcing tonight, because Shavuot commences tomorrow evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshan b'mitzvotav v'tivanu al spirat Omer. Our praise to you, God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom arba'im v'tesha yom shehem shiv'a shavuot yamim la'omer. Today is the 49th day, which is 7 weeks of the Omer. It's a time of almost arriving this week. This is the week of getting there, of getting to Sinai, and of getting to this moment of receiving Torah. And tonight, we're pleased to have two individuals who have made this getting here, this week of arrival, this time of coming near, this counting the days, this coming to Torah, this receiving Torah, not only part of Am Yisrael, of the Jewish people, but of their lives as they become formally the newest members of Am Yisrael, the Jewish people. So we all arrive at Sinai, but the teaching is told that all of us were together at Sinai, those from the days of Moses to those of today. We all were at Sinai together. So if you bump into someone and they look familiar to you, you can say, well, I knew, were you there at Sinai with me about 3,000? Yes, we all were there. And two new individuals who were there at Sinai are now with us today. As we welcome to come to the Spima, we invite to come forward right now, Mara Rami Bat Avram Basara and Dan Yaakov Ben Eliezer Basara. We invite to come forward Susan Burke and Dana Montella as they completed this week their journey to their and our Sinai collectively. Susan, Dana. Indeed, the process of becoming Jewish is a private process. It's your process inside yourself and how you share yourself. But in this community, it's not so private. In this community, we're a community that embraces and engages. And you have been embraced and engaged, not because this community is so wonderful only, but because you've embraced and engaged this community. It's a shared evolution. But your learning and your decisions, your inner review and your sharing with our community is yours. And the process of becoming Jewish includes, as you know, you're coming before a Beit Din, a court representing Am Yisrael, the Jewish people. That court on Wednesday represented all of Jewish peoplehood from the days of Moses till today. However, today you stand before your corner of Am Yisrael, and this corner of Am Yisrael now makes you as vital as the entire Jewish history of all of us. So that Beit Din may have been the formal signatures to your certificates, but this is truly your Beit Din, your community that comes to witness and welcome you today. And so we are going to, at this time, not just come close to Sinai and receive Torah, but we're going to allow you to represent that moment and receive Torah yourselves, as this is the moment that we celebrate in our Temple Beth Jacob community, your arriving. May I invite us all to rise. In a moment, I'll be placing these Torahs. There'll be another one, there'll be two of them, for each of you, in your arms, and invite you to share some of the words that you shared in blessing on Wednesday. And indeed, on Wednesday, we received you, but today you formally receive Torah, completing that process. This is why you've come here, to be received and to receive the Jewish community as yours, but to make our heritage, our teaching, our values, our ethics, our eternity, your moment. That you would take this Torah, and when you hold it, it's far more than wood and parchment and covering and some silver, but this now becomes part of who you are. It becomes your namesake, it becomes your history. It includes the names of Abraham and Sarah and Eliezer, is tucked away somewhere too. It includes all of the generations that have brought you here and all the generations to come. So today, Torah is received by us on the cusp of Shavuot, but today, Torah is received by the two of you. Holding Torah, don't face the ark. Holding Torah, we now invite you to recite words of Torah, words which you recited on Wednesday afternoon, and words which you've been practicing and knowing and reciting again and again, the words which link you forever to our people, to our God, and to the unity of our people with our God. If you would recite the words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. I'm reluctantly going to take the Torah back from you in a moment. Reluctantly, because I know that you want to hold this as long and forever. And indeed you will, because from now on, this is your Torah. I should mention to everybody that it's my privilege and joy to share in these moments of Kabbalat Ger, of receiving those who cast their commitments and lives for the Jewish people. And as you know, it's commonly my custom to try to celebrate these rituals on the week or the moments leading up to a major festival, Pesach or Shavuot or Sukkot, that this moment can be yours, that from now on forever, you not only receive Torah today, but you help the Jewish people to receive Torah at Sinai. And forever Shavuot and the 49th day and the 47th day and the 50th day, every day of this Omer will be yours, but especially this day when you receive Torah. I share upon you together, as you've studied together, you've learned together, you've grown together, the words of our priestly blessing, our blessing for this moment, the blessing from the book of Numbers as offered and taught by Susan. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you Mara Romi Bat Avram Basara, Yaakov Don Ben Eliezer Basara. May God bless you and keep you. Yisad Napanavi Lech B'Yasem Lecha Shalom. Yair Napanavi Lech B'Yasem. Right out of my dog. Sometimes you get verklempt, don't you? May God shine light upon you and be good to you. And may the Holy One grant you blessings on this day and every day of your journey to this moment and your journey continuing from this moment, your journey of Jewish life and your journey here in our congregation. May it be one of joy, may it be one of shalom. And as Susan and Dana turn back to us all, we sing together Shechianu and Siman Tov U'Mazel Tov. Shechianu v'kimanu v'higiyanu l'zman hazeh. Anu ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shechianu v'kimanu v'higiyanu l'zman hazeh. Mazel tov, Siman tov, mazel tov, Siman tov, mazel tov, Siman tov. Hey, can't hear you. Hey, lanu, hey, lanu, u'lecho Yisrael. Hey, lanu, u'lecho Yisrael. Hey, lanu, u'lecho Yisrael. Hey, lanu, u'lecho Yisrael. Now, Dana and Susan, before you share your own words, we would invite you to share with our congregational family the words of this affirmation, which you offered on Wednesday and which you offer again before the ark.
I make this affirmation as I enter the eternal covenant between God and the Jewish people, the children of Israel. I choose to become a Jew of my own free will. I accept Judaism to the exclusion of all other religions, faiths, and practices, and now pledge my loyalty to Judaism and the Jewish people under all circumstances. I promise to establish a Jewish home and participate actively in the life of the synagogue and of the Jewish community. I commit myself to the pursuit of Torah and Jewish knowledge.
Done?
That's okay.
Good. Give each other a hug. And now Susan and then Dana to offer your own words on what this means at this occasion.
I'd like to start by thanking the Sisterhood for allowing us to crash their lovely evening services tonight. And I'm going before Dana, not because I'm the elder of the two, but because I've been a Jew for 23 minutes longer than he has. So I have seniority. In my process of becoming Jewish, a process that began in many ways decades ago, but officially began at TBJ, where I found a community of support, encouragement, and camaraderie. These last 18 months have been a spiritual journey. Learning about Judaism through all the avenues that we explored with Rabbi Cohn was an enriching process and one that I plan to continue. I would like to thank the rabbi for his knowledge, his guidance, and mentorship. I am most grateful. To my husband, who was supportive throughout, I feel this process has strengthened our marriage and possibly deepened his Jewish practice. And to my in-laws, who eagerly met my enthusiasm for Judaism with countless books, engaging discussions, and meaningful family time that always started with Friday night Shabbat services. And to my very dear friend Eleanor, who's here this evening, whose encouragement and discussions enriched my understanding of Judaism in very personal ways. Thank you. So I stand before you this evening as Mara Romi. I found the Hebrew name of Mara in the book of Ruth. It was the name Naomi took after the loss of her 2 sons and husband. The name Mara is in dedication to my father-in-law, Martin Burke, who would be beaming with Nakas if he were with us tonight. His love of Judaism and of me was seminal in my becoming a Jew. His presence was felt throughout this process, and I will cherish these memories as they have truly been a blessing. And from the book of Ruth, I will leave you with a quote that sums up where I stand. For where you go, I will go. And for where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Thank you.
I don't know if I can really follow that. But
Put this in front of you.
oh yeah, they work best that way. There we go. So hopefully everyone can hear me. I am overwhelmed by this moment, and the first thing I'd like to do
Be heard.
is be heard. That's never been a problem with me before. I've always been the loudest person in the room until I joined this community, so I feel very comfortable in it. Trying to articulate my thoughts, I first wanted to thank everyone. And I was just remarking to see yesterday, I do not believe I could have done this in a different place, in a different community. Joining the Jewish people is a communal experience. It is not just about beliefs or practices, but about being part of a people. And this is where I met the people to be a part of the Jewish people. However, there are some things that happened long ago that laid the foundation for this. And the most important stone being my partner, C, who for 11 years has shown me how to be a Jew. Through them, I saw Jewish life, Jewish philosophy, Jewish perspectives, Jewish argumentation. And I never quite committed until a couple years ago, but there was a process that began a long time ago to take me to this moment. I always used to joke, I love religion too much to ever belong to one. That I was fascinated by practices and faiths, but that I never really saw myself throwing in and committing to one, to believing. And yet here I am, and that's what I've done. The most surprising thing is that it's far more natural than I ever thought it would be. That as I approach this community and the Jewish people in general, I found it such a natural evolution of who I already was, of someone who both wishes to study and wishes to talk and listen and to be part of this community. And at a certain point in time, you look at your life and you realize that you're already there. Wednesday, C asked me, do you feel different? And I said, well, no and yes. I went through this most important moment, just like this is the most important moment. And yet everything I went through was just an evolution of the last 18 months, the last 10 years, the last 40 years of my life. And so I am excited. I am overwhelmed by what the future will bring, because this isn't really anything more than one more day, one more step in an ongoing process, a shared destiny with the Jewish people that I have permanently, forever thrown in with. And I thank every single person in my life, my family, my friends, and most of all, this community that's made that shared destiny possible. Thank you so much.
Give you Dana and Susan.
Our President-elect Stacy will come up to give the announcements.
Wow, how to follow that? There is no way. Let me first extend my and our congratulations to Susan, to to Dana. I'm sorry, I was looking at you too. To everybody, to everybody. Thank you for your heartfelt words, and it's true. It's about community. Thank you for your joy, for your honesty, and for your energy. I, for one, appreciate it. We'll definitely use it so we can start meeting whenever you're ready. But I know this whole community appreciates it, and you make us better. Hopefully we make you better, but you make us better. So thank you, thank you. And with that, some more mundane